Oh, why hello, it's Miss Gina. And we're going to read 169 Storey Treehouse. I believe we left off on chapter 5. They were all tied up, or I think they were going to be all tied up. Let's see what happens. All tied up, chapter 5. You're at Gina's planet, and I'm so glad you're here. So let's dive right into chapter 5. Anti-A jumps to his feet. Ha ha, he cries. Our trick worked. Yeah, says Terrible T. Let's go make some mirror gang mischief. Remember, they pulled their doppelgangers out of the mirror, if you've been following along. Wait, says Junkyard J. What about the chumps? She points at us. Maybe we should tie them up. They don't get in our way. Good idea, says Anti-A. Anybody got any rope? No, says Junkyard J. Me neither, says Terrible T. I've got some, says Terry, handing his doppelganger a large coil of rope. Thanks, pal, sneers Terrible T. Don't mention it, says Terry. What are friends for? And before we know it, Jill and Terry and I are bound tightly together. Terry, I say, why did you give him the rope? I was just trying to be helpful, says Terry. And you were, says Terrible T. Very, very helpful. All right now, let's go have some fun, says Anti-A. Who's with me? Says Terrible T. And me, says Junkyard J. All for one and one for all. Let's find some junk and have a ball. So long, suckers, calls Anti-A as they run off laughing. The last thing we hear before the elevator door slides shut is Terrible T saying, I smell gingerbread. Let's go eat it. And I smell junk, shouts Junkyard J. Let's go grab it. Well, this is just great, isn't it? I say, the mirror gang are going to eat all our gingerbread and steal all our junk while we're stuck here tied up with rope that you gave them, Terry. Look on the bright side, Andy, says Terry. At least we're not at school, and you do have a lot of gingerbread, says Jill, and a lot of junk for that matter. It's not like you'll miss any. Are you kidding, I say? All our junk is essential. It's essential. If it's essential, then it's not junk, says Jill. So there's nothing to worry about. Ring, 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 ring. That sounds like the 3D video phone ringing, says Terry. That's because it is the 3D video phone ringing. I say, thank goodness. We can ask whoever it is to send help. Quick, answer it. Ring, 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 ring. Excuse me. It's a very loud ring. I can't, says Terry. I'm tied up, remember? Ring, 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 ring. Oh, yeah, I say, me too, Jill. Ring, 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 ring. Sorry, all tied up, she says. Let's hope it's Mr. Big Nose. And he answers the phone himself like he did before. Ring, 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 ring. The phone is persistent. Can't you chuckleheads answer your own phone, says Mr. Big Nose, as his image flickers into focus on the screen. I'm busy enough answering my own calls without having to answer yours as well. Sorry, Mr. Big Nose, I say. It's been a busy morning for us too. After we got the weather dome door shut, we had a visit from the truancy officer who wanted to make us all go to school. So we had to hide in the Hall of Mirrors, and then Terry removed the cover from the doppelganger mirror, and our doppelgangers got out and tied us all up, and I'm going to stop you right there, says Mr. Big Nose. Save it for the book. The book you're supposed to deliver by 5 o'clock today or else. And we will, I promise, I say, but before we can do that, we need to get untied. So if you could just reach through the screen and untie us, that would be... Request denied, shouts Mr. Big Nose. NMP. Sort it out yourselves. And make sure that book gets delivered by 5. Goodbye. The screen goes blank. Blank. Not my problem. That's what NMB means. Not my problem. That was nice of him to call, says Terry. It would have been nicer if he'd reached out of the screen and untied us, I say. Shh, says Jill. Can you hear footsteps? Yes, says Terry. It's the mirror gang. They're coming back to untie us. I knew they would. I'm not so sure about that, says Jill. They're only one set of footsteps. I hope it's not who I think it is. Me too, I say. Who are you both hoping it is not who you think it is? Says Terry. Mr. Bunkoff, I whisper. Shh. Be very quiet so he can't hear us. Too late, says Mr. Bunkoff as Big Net comes down on top of us. Gotcha. Womp. Time for school, he says. Please don't take us to school, I beg. I have to, says Mr. Bunkoff as he carries us toward the elevator. It's the law. But what about our book, I say. We can't write the book if we're at school. We don't need to worry about that, says Mr. Bunkoff. There are plenty of books where you're going. Well, could you at least untie us first, says Terry. Do I look like I came down in the last shower? Says Mr. Bunkoff. I'll untie you when we get there, and not a moment before. He bundles us into the elevator, pushes the ground floor button. And the door slides shut. Uh-oh, this is serious. The elevator goes down and the doors open on the ground floor. Mr. Bunkoff loads us into the back of his van. S-T-O. S-T-O. Drives us through the forest, into the school, up the stairs, and dumps us in a classroom. There it was. And next chapter is chapter 6, Show and Tell. So we'll read that tomorrow. So I'll see you next time. Remember to read more in 2024 and grow your brain. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.